Spiteborn is a new Finnish metal band that you probably haven't even heard of. Personally, neither was I before getting this CD for review. This is a debut album called Bone Trails. It was already digitally published in 2019, but now it's finally a CD and technically speaking CDR. So this is a self-financed release by the band themselves. These guys are no newbies, but the band is new, and as such I guess it's kind of hard to find a label, especially when your style is rather, say, not exactly peculiar, but kind of a combination of different sorts. To say this is just modern death metal would be a sort of an understatement, given that this band is kind of a combination of different styles. The band actually listed some different names which have been inspiring them, and those names include bands from black metal to hardcore to death metal and then some. So when you're doing that kind of a combination, it's no wonder if your music is sounding like a little bit of a hybrid. So, as said, there is no Metal Archive site of the band just yet, so we'll go with this band's own homepage. Here is linked, the band's Facebook, Instagram, and whatever social media pages. You will get to hear the band's music here with these YouTube videos, so that is something where you can start in case you find this band interesting. Now, like I said, all these band members are sort of veterans of the genre. They have their experience with various style of metal bands, from death metal to other names, and even though it's not kind of a super group, at least it kind of shows that these guys are not just some random youngster making their new first band and then trying to do something worthwhile. Now, Bone Trails isn't exactly a too bad an album, because it's a different kind of a death metal album, versus the ones that I usually get to hear. The combination here is something like when you have these kind of hardcore elements and you combine them with death metal, but you don't end up doing exactly deathcore. One could say there are some deathcore-ish elements here, and I don't think it's wrong to say that this is kind of a deathcore thing, but it mostly is some kind of a modern death metal with kind of a hardcore mentality here, and as such the outcome is rather interesting. However, it's not without flaws, because the thing here is, while the band knows and seems to understand the kind of let's call them the elements that are needed for this kind of music, that is good production, really good guitar, bass, drum sound, good growly vocals and all that stuff, it seems like with songwriting part it's a little bit just kind of looking for itself. That is, looking for this path to make. Now it seems it's more like a random a box of ideas put together and then let's just get on with it. As such, the result is rather nice. It's definitely worth listening to, but it's still not catchy at all. And while I'm not after pure hit material, we all know that once you hear these certain kind of killer riffs or killer chorus parts or whatever, you just know that this is the elite stuff versus the more typical kind of a filler material. And while I'm not claiming that Spiteborn is exactly filler stuff, it's still very much in work in progress. Like I said, the production is really good, vocals top notch, but the songs, they are not going too much anywhere. It just feels like it's stomping this one and the same place over and over again until the album just gets finished with its 37 minutes or so. So definitely interesting one in case you just happen to like modern death metal. But if you are an old school death metal fan only, or you just dislike any kind of hardcore, deathcore, whatever elements, then probably better to stay off from this one. Anyway, should you be interested, there are these links for you to check out, and more information about the band will be found on the band's social media pages. So click if you're interested, and if not, well, that's what it is. See ya with more reviews coming your way. Take care and bye bye.